The team of scientists sweeping the depths of Loch Ness said tonight they'd made sonar contact with a large unidentified object.
For nearly 100 years, something mysterious has lurked in the waters of Loch Ness. It has been laughed at by scientists, believed in by locals, and mostly ignored by the rest of the world. But now everything has changed. This isn't just another blurry photo or a shaky story from a curious tourist. This time we have real evidence. Strong sonar signals, drone footage, heat scans, and what all this showed has shocked everyone who has seen it. It moved, it responded, it noticed that it was being watched. This wasn't a trick of the light or a passing shadow. This was real, alive, and it should not have been there. Across the globe, people started asking the same question. Could the Loch Ness monster be real after all? This is not just another story. This is the moment the myth blinked back. The day everything changed. In early spring 2025, a new team of scientists returned to Loch Ness. They weren't expecting much, just another routine scan of the lake using today's best technology. They called it Project Deep Scan 2, named after a similar project done way back in 1987. But this time the tools were better. Advanced sonar machines, underwater drones, and environmental DNA testing kits. Their mission was simple: study the loch, gather samples, and map out what lives in the deep. But on the fourth day, something strange happened. At exactly 6:42 in the morning, one sonar operator noticed something on the screen. A large object, almost 30 ft long, was moving deep, in the northern part of the loch. And it wasn't drifting like a log, it was swimming. The team jumped into action, launching underwater drones to follow the creature. For nearly 3 minutes, they tracked it as it glided smoothly through the water. It didn't vanish or fade like other sonar readings from the past. It held its shape, moved at a steady speed, and showed up on more than one sonar. The way it moved, slow and snake-like, didn't match any fish or floating object. Soon after, the drone cameras picked up something. The video was a little blurry, but you could clearly see a large shape with curves and what looked like a fin or a flipper. While the sonar and cameras followed the object, something else appeared on the thermal scans. In the same spot, the equipment detected a warm heat signature. It wasn't hot, but it stood out clearly against the cold water. It didn't flicker like sunlight or shift like a machine. It stayed steady, warm, alive. This heat pattern looked like something that could control its body temperature, similar to how mammals do. That meant it was likely endothermic, warm-blooded. This discovery shocked the team. It didn't fit the usual theory that Nessie might be a cold-blooded reptile like a plesiosaur. This creature had warmth, it was alive, and it was unlike anything they had seen before. The most surprising part came next. Water samples taken from where the creature had been spotted were sent to labs across the United Kingdom and Europe. These samples were tested for something called environmental DNA. Every living creature leaves tiny traces of itself in water, like skin cells or waste. Scientists can find these traces and figure out what species were present. When the test results came back, they revealed something shocking. The water contained DNA from a creature that had never been seen before. It didn't match any fish, reptile, or mammal known to live in Loch Ness. It wasn't salmon, it wasn't an eel, and it wasn't any known migratory animal. All of the labs confirmed the same thing. There was a new type of aquatic vertebrate in the loch, something that did not exist in any global database. Word spread quickly. Whispers turned into headlines. Scientists, once skeptical, now leaned in closer. Could this finally be proof that something unknown had been hiding in the depths for centuries? Those who were there during the discovery believe. The answer was yes. The ancient stories begin to make sense. Before sonar and satellites, before DNA tests and deep-sea drones, people already believed something was living in the loch. They could feel it, see signs of it, tell stories about it. One of the earliest reports came from the year 565 AD. An Irish monk named Saint Columba was said to have seen a giant water beast in the river Ness. According to the story, the beast had already attacked one man and was about to strike again, when Columba raised his hands and ordered the creature back to its depths. The creature stopped and backed away. Some people think this story was a religious tale. Others believe it was the first recorded sighting of the Loch Ness monster, and that story was not alone. In the Highlands of Scotland, old legends told of creatures called kelpies. These were mysterious spirits said to live in deep waters. They could take the shape of horses and were known for pulling people underwater. Many locals believed the kelpie legends were connected to real sightings of strange beings in the lochs. Generation after generation, the stories continued. They warned children to stay away from the water. They described enormous creatures with long necks and huge bodies. The details often changed, but one thing stayed the same, the feeling that something was watching from below. These ancient tales were never truly about proving the creature's existence. Instead, they were a way of acknowledging that something unknown might dwell beneath the surface. They taught generations to respect the mystery, to be cautious around the loch, and to pass on that quiet reverence through story. The landscape itself plays a part in this enduring legend. The Scottish Highlands, with their misty hills towering, mountains and shadowed lochs create a setting where mystery feels at home. Loch Ness, stretching for 23 meters and reaching depths of nearly 800 ft, is a place of both striking beauty and haunting secrecy. Its black, peat-stained waters have remained largely untouched by urban growth for centuries. Even the sharpest eyes can miss what lies below. It's not just the stories that keep the legend alive, it's the place itself. A legend becomes an obsession. Everything changed in the 1930s. That was when the mystery of Loch Ness spread far beyond the Highlands and captured the world's attention. As construction began on the Caledonian Canal, in a new hydroelectric dam at Fort Augustus, the environment of the loch shifted. Around the same time, more people started noticing more strange activity on the surface of the water. Local newspapers reported several sightings of a large creature rising from the loch and then disappearing beneath it. Some locals believed that the nearby construction might have disturbed something that had been hiding. Others thought that the growing attention just made more people watch the water more carefully. Then in 1934, a London doctor named Robert Kenneth Wilson claimed to have taken a photo showing a long neck rising out of the loch. The photo, now famously known as the surgeon's photo, was printed in newspapers around the world. Though blurry and hard to explain, it was enough to spark global fascination. Later, it was revealed to be a hoax, just a model on a toy submarine. But the damage, or perhaps the magic, was already done. The world believed, and Loch Ness would never be the same from that point forward. The sightings only grew. Since the 1930s, people have reported an average of 13 sightings every year. The village of Drumnadroche, located on one side of the loch, quickly transformed with the arrival of tourists. Almost overnight, hotels, souvenir shops, and scenic viewing spots started popping up. Businesses began to grow around the legend. People booked boat tours hoping to catch a glimpse of Nessie, and artists and writers created books, paintings, and keepsakes inspired by the mystery. The story of Nessie had become a real moneymaker, and its effect on the local economy was impossible to ignore. Even before the age of the internet and social media, Nessie was already going viral. Newspapers regularly reported new sightings. Her shape appeared on postcards, and early documentary filmmakers traveled to the Highlands with heavy equipment and big hopes. Nessie was no longer just a local curiosity. Her fame spread across countries. Her story was told on the radio, rewritten, in books, and even discussed in schools. Whether people believed in her or not didn't matter anymore. What mattered was that she had become something bigger, a symbol of mystery, of the unexplained, and of the deep magical unknown hidden in our world. Now, decades later, scientists have begun to look at these images using new tools. With clearer cameras, light analysis, and models of water movement, some past sightings can now be explained by reflections, waves, or shadows. But not all of them. Many images still leave experts unsure. Despite the hoaxes, the jokes, and the explanations, the legend has never gone away because deep down many still believe that something is really there. And so the obsession continues. Eyewitnesses who stood by their stories. Many of the people who reported sightings were not just excited tourists. They were police officers, boat captains, soldiers, and scientists. People who were trained to observe, people with no reason to lie. Some saw shapes just beneath the surface. Others reported unexplained waves or humps gliding across the water. Some even claimed to see eyes watching from the deep. A diver named Robert Badger, Val Muffet, David Monroe. They described what they saw in simple but clear terms. A long body, a smooth motion, a shape breaking through the water and then disappearing. Many described a long neck, a series of humps, and movement that was too smooth to be a log or a boat wake. What made these accounts even more powerful was how similar they were. These people didn't know each other. Many were from different times and backgrounds, yet their stories matched. The same shape, the same motion, the same sudden vanishing. Again and again their descriptions matched. A smooth glide through the water, a long neck, sometimes humps, always silent, always sudden. Many sightings happened early in the morning or late in the evening, when the loch is calm, when the light is soft, when the water reflects like a mirror. Researchers who have studied these patterns believe they are not random. Some say the creature might be more active in low light. Others believe quiet conditions make it easier to spot things. Still, the consistency in reports is hard to ignore. The conditions were often the same. Most sightings happened early in the morning or around sunset. The water was calm, the air still, and the light low. In these quiet moments, the surface of the loch acted like a mirror. It was the perfect setting to see something strange if it was there. Even now, researchers looking into the patterns of sightings believe that they are not random. Some think the creature is more active during those low light hours. Others say those moments simply make it easier to notice something unusual. But either way, the stories continue. When science took notice,